Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today is going to be kind of like a concept video, but also a video that will help some people with mods or with future updates in Bannerlord. So what do I mean? Well, I mean, I'm going to be talking about bases in Bannerlord, places where you can make bases in Bannerlord. There are mods out there where you can make a base or a homestead on different parts of the map, pretty much anywhere on the map that you want. So in this video, I'm going to show off the best places to do so, or the coolest places I found to do so. And again, in the future, we might get an update from Bannerlord that lets us make hideouts or bases. And also, there are a lot of mods that are, here already and also to come in the future. So yeah, you can always check back on this video for cool locations. So without further ado, let's get to the locations. First, we have a spot right above Varcheg right over here. It's a big open area. As you can see, it's on the Sturgian side of the map, north side. And pretty much you can enter it through this one area right over here. Right, if you go right past Varcheg, you go through here. And instead of turning left to get to Revel, you turn right to get to this little, pretty much big, massive land. I remember you used to be able to actually cross this. It used to be a hidden pathway, but they did close it up and made it so if you want to go around, you have to actually go all the way around instead of just a straight pathway. So this whole land right over here is completely free for you to build any base, and I think it's a very snug little location right next to a town, but also with your little privacy. Second place we have is a place right under Jackaland. It is on the Vlandian side of the map, right over here, left side of the map. Hideouts usually spawn here, but I think this would be a very cool place for a hideout that's next to the water. As you can see, the way to get in is between these two little mountain passes, and you have this way in between the trees. So it's kind of like a secret entrance, if you want to say it. And you have pretty much a good amount of space right over here. I think even a whole, I'm not going to say a whole town, but probably a castle could fit here, depending on how big, the bases do get. But as you can see, you can go around this whole area and be really super close to the waterway. Third spot is a spot next to this village right here, Potus, and it's if you could look right over here, it's next to Orstia and Jalmaris. I know I pronounced all those wrong, but it is what it is. But right this area right in between, it's actually a highly frequented area. A lot of traffic goes through here if we just wait. You're gonna see a lot of villagers, a lot of caravans, and if there's wars, especially as you can see, the Azerai and these guys fight all the time. But if you didn't know, if you go past this mountain range, you can actually keep going down to this little, I guess, like little area where the water runs as well. So again, a little closed off area with one little entrance where you can go very close to the water, good amount of space, and I think it's a place that's overlooked and it's really close to the action and really close to all the foot traffic. Fourth, we actually have three different spots. They're all kind of in the same area next to Ustokal Castle. It is on the, what's it called, kind of, I want to say the top left side of the map, right over here next to Revel, to the left side. And there's three spots. So first, you can go past this town of Zemyon. And this whole area, as you can see, we could click anywhere from this whole area. All this area right over here, if you want to live kind of like in the wood area. Then you have this one pathway up here that kind of ends where the pathway ends, as you can see. Kind of a little bit smaller. This is a little bigger area. And then you have this huge area right over here next to the left of Ustokal that is very, very remote. So you can go all the way up to the water with this one, all the way down there, as you can see. And you also have all of this land right over here with this woodland area. So pretty much you have three areas all in one, whichever one you want to choose. But they are pretty far away from everything else, so you are kind of secluded if you choose these locations. Fifth, we again have a lot of locations on the top of, what's it called, kind of like where the Sturgians start, the north side. We have right above Sabir, we have two entryways to two different base locations. We have first this entryway, which is a little bit wide, and it branches off to a lot of woodlands. All of this is free, and you can travel amongst it. And also you have this cool little pathway right over here if you do not want the actual trees. You want just like flat land to build a base. It is right over here. And you can't really get out any other way except this one little area. Just make sure you're not enemies with the Sturgians because they're literally like your bodyguard when it comes to this entrance. And also you have all of this woodland area right over here. There's a bunch of nooks and crannies. But this whole wood area, and also if you didn't know, you can cross over from here to here. So it gives you kind of access. If you don't want to go this way, you can go this way. If you don't want to go down, you can go to the right as well. But this whole area is very open. There's a lot of potential, and as you can see, you can even go all the way up to here, to like close to these mountain ranges if you do not want to live in the forest. But yeah, a lot of options right over here on the top side. Sixth, if you want to live next to the Khuzait and also kind of in a mountainous region, right here, kind of like on the bottom of where the Khuzait starts, next to Odok, there is a little mountain range which you can kind of climb up. So it starts right over here. We can start all the way from over here, really from this village. And as you can see, we can click all the way up to up here. And then as you can see, our character will travel through the mountains and go up the various paths to go all the way up. And pretty much it's closed off right here. You can't actually go back down this way. You have to go all the way around. So you can build your base all the way up here, all the way over here as well. And it's pretty blocked off, one way in, one way out. Very cozy if you want to be next to the mountains. Eighth, we have a spot right below where the, what's it called? Usually the Azerai are at, but unfortunately got taken over in mine. But right below Donastica, right over here, and actually Hostile Focus closer. Right over here, there is like a little riverway, and there's also mountains, and you can kind of see like there's a big area right over here that you can visit, and you can kind of go over some of these mountains as well over here, as you can see, but you can't really go farther than that. But this little big area right below the town, very cool, very little cozy spot. The mountains are blocking you all around, got a little bit of water, and obviously you're kind of like behind the town. And also there's a spot right here too if you want to get a little bit closer, but also kind of stay in the mountains. There's a little corner over here. Ninth, there's a spot literally across this little thing that we were just in. We were right over here, but now we are on this side. As you can see, you can also go all the way up here. It's a little smaller location, but again, it's a little bit out of the way of where all the traffic goes. It's a little surrounded by mountains, and it's a cool little, I would say smaller type of base. But like this area right over here, very good, surrounded off by mountains. And by the way, the next couple things that I'm going to talk about, there are a lot of spots. I'm only going to mention some of the spots that are located in the Azerai land, but there are a ton for you to check out and explore and figure that out. Because to be honest with you, if you haven't seen my videos, a lot of these mountains down here, they actually can be run on top of. They're not actually rendered as all the other mountains because there's really no foot traffic that should be happening here. So I guess the devs just said, it's whatever, you guys can run on top of mountains. 10th, again, we have kind of a smaller little location, but right over here, as you can see, we have this little mountain hill type area right over here, and you can actually go to it and kind of overlook people traveling by and stuff of that nature. But as you can see, it's like a little hill that you can kind of make your own. As you can see, it's this little hill right over here. Can't click on much, but it has like a little circumference like that, as you can see. Now, to quickly show off what I meant by the mountains in Azerai land, look right over here. As you can see, we can magically go up and down mountains. And this has to do with a lot of mountains all the way at the south where there is no villages or towns. Kind of like these mountains right over here. A lot of them you can just completely run over. As you can see, we're just completely jumping over them. So you can build something here, but it's kind of... yeah, it's kind of weird. It's up to you. But these aren't the ones I'm going to cover because obviously there's a lot of different combinations you can do in this area alone. But this would be a generally cool area to build your base. You just have to see where the restrictions are, where the blockages are, and stuff of that nature. But a lot of these mountains, you can see as I'm scrolling over, I'm not getting this circle with an X on it. That pretty much means you can run over it. So this mountain as well, I could just run over it, as you can see. 11th, this is actually my favorite spot on the map. I think it's one of the coolest locations made. I just wish that the devs actually did something with it, but I think this is one of the best places to make a base. It's right below Ayakis, again in the Azerai lands, all the way at the south. And as you can see, it's built like such an evil villain camp to me. So you have two entrances. You could kind of like have like a circle entrance and exit. And as you can see, you can walk in here, and sometimes a hideout will spawn right over here. But it's completely closed off, except these two entrances right over here, and you have all this open space. It kind of feels like a cavern to me. And again, you have like this revolving entrance and exit feature. I just think it was such a good piece of land made. per piece of landscape made, that I think something should have been really utilized here. But this is a great place. I think one of the best places, probably top 2, not even 2, if you wanted to make a base. 12th, we have this area right over here. You can't actually make it all the way to the top, but by the way, it's in Azerai, next to Sanala in the south, right over here. And you can't actually get to the top of this, which is unfortunate. It'd be kind of cool if you can go all the way to the top. But you can go kind of like on the first little land region, as you can see. And it has like multiple little ways to get up there. And then you can also go to the second one, but it only has this way to actually get in. So it is kind of closed off. You can't actually get down on these sides. But you can get up pretty high. And you can kind of overlook, again, a lot of stuff. You can overlook the castle. You can overlook the village right over here. And as you can see, this is all closed off right over here. So you'd have to go, if you want to go back down, you have to go through this one entrance right over here, as you can see. So again, pretty cool. A little more elevated spots, kind of closed off, but also kind of in the open. I think it's a pretty cool overlook base if you were to make one. Now 13th, and actually 13th, 14th, and 15th, because all of these follow the same layout, so I'm not going to go through each single one. But there are 3 spots in the Azerai land, all the way to the south, right over here, as you can see. We have this first one next to Oscar, to the left of it. You can run through it, as you can see. It's one of those, like, you know, two entrances, or one entrance, one exits kind of way. You're in between, I forgot exactly what the proper landscape term for this is. But you are in between 2 mountains. I guess you're in the mountain pass. I guess that would be it. This is one of them. Then you have one right over here, right next to Zalm, the village. Again, same thing. You go from one entrance and another entrance right over here, and you can kind of just traverse through it. And then the third one is right here next to Medini Castle. Again, one entrance, one exit between 2 mountain passes. Those 3 are kind of like the pretty much whoever the designer was here. He said, let me put 3 of these in here real quick. And again, I wish they were utilized a little bit better, but I think they're very great places for a base.